Alright guys, so here we go for the install video of the AVIN USA system. There's my CCC. Let's confirm it's a CCC. There's the box with all the stuff. And some of the tools I'm going to be using. I got this plastic pry tool. This screwdriver set with all the Torx bits I'll probably need to take apart this entire car. Got it at Harbor Freight, it's like $5. Definitely recommend if you work on your own Beamer. And then a needle nose plier, because that's always important. So I'm going to start off by removing this panel and removing this accent lighting that I put in. I'll talk to you guys about that later. But this is like little accent lighting like the new cars have. I threw in here, I'm going to take it off. And then removing the screen. Alright, so first thing is prying off this big panel. Little corner over here, you can see my amazing wrap job. I'm gonna use a plastic pry tool, kind of stick it back here, go through the bottom, the top, and try to pry it off. I suggest you watch some other videos on how to remove this. Someone that can hold the camera and take it off at the same time, because I can't do that. One thing I will suggest once you get it off, because it's really not that hard to take off. You'll realize when it's off because it will be in your hand. You take off, you have to unplug the wiring for these buttons and for the start button once you get it off. So don't just get it off and then yank it off. You have to unplug those and then it'll come all off. So I'll get back to you guys when I get it off. Alright, I got it off. It's not that easy. I suggest you take your time so you don't break anything. I'm really trying not to mess up my wrap, but of course I messed it up. But if you're not wrapped like me, shouldn't be that hard. Be careful when you put it up against the dash right here, because this part will like kind of bend, and you don't want to like cut into that if you're using a flathead and you're not using a plastic pry tool like I am. And then I just have this danglage everywhere. So I'll take it off, unplug it, and show you guys the next step. Alright guys, got it off. The little wire at the bottom is gonna be pretty easy to take off. The top one, a little harder, and this one's cake. So let's get those off. I threw it on top of the dash so I don't forget where I put it. And oh look, my unit in. I'll do a review on that too. Comparison to the V1. Yeah, I have 2 radars. And everyone wants to buy this one. I'm not really gonna use it anymore. But I'll tell you guys why I'm not gonna use it anymore in the video I'm gonna make. Alright, let's do this. Alright guys, next step is take off the HVAC panel. It's a little crusty, so I might have to re-dip that. But basically just push up over here, pull it over here, and then it's off. Why do we have to do this? We have to do this because we have to take off this navigation system, the CCC, in order to get to the wires behind it so we can plug in the harness. So take this off, unplug it from the back, and we'll continue. Alright, so for the next step, I'm going to go ahead and remove the screen. There are 2 T9 bolts. Let's focus right there. And, oh, my finger, let's focus right there. So, I'm going to take those out with the trusty Harbor Freight toolkit. Alright, this is really out of focus. There it is. And let's get back to you guys. Alright, take the bolts out, throw them in there, oh, right there. And now I'm going to grab the plastic pry tool. And then it should come out just like that. Very easy, guys. Nothing complicated. Then just pull her out. There's some wiring that's clipped on there. And then we got 2 wires, two harnesses things we have to remove. And oh look, Harman Kardon. So if you have the Logic 7, this is where you're gonna be able to see the mid speaker. It's right there. It's the little. Okay, oh, well, you can kind of see it right there. That bent thing in the middle, right in front of the little alarm blinker. That's the speaker. So for those of you that didn't know, if you have the Logic 7 Harman Kardon system for this year, you have a speaker in the middle of your dash. Thank you, BMW. The plug off on the right side, or yeah, and this one on the left side. I think this is the LVDS or LDVS, whatever I called it in the unboxing video. That goes in on the side. This is just like, oh, I can't wait to get rid of this. This one is just like these. Where is it? Alright, you push down the little thing, and this slides back like that. and then it comes out. So here's the screen. Really hope I never have to see this again. I really hope you work, AVIN. And then I'll do a destruction video on how to destroy a CCC screen. Alright guys, so I got the new screen to fit. It was a little difficult. I'm just test fitting right now. So you have to plug in the OVDS on the right side. And then the other wire, I kind of tucked it in the back because I don't really know where it goes yet. But it gave me a little bit of an issue. It fits perfectly. The only problem is that the holes don't line up. So I saw that by pushing it in a little bit harder, the holes line up on both sides, but we'll see how we can take care of that. Alright guys, so for the lower trim panel, this one right here, probably gonna redip that too. It just has 4 pins that go into these slots, so it literally just pops off. It may give you a little bit of trouble, but pop it off, don't worry, there's nothing that it's screwed into or anything. So it should pop right off and you shouldn't have a problem. Now to remove the navigation system, which is this big unit, there's some Phillips heads here, which luckily Harbor Freight provides us with Phillips heads, Torx, hex, flatheads, everything you need to take apart this entire car. So I'm gonna do that, take it out, and come back to you guys. Alright, took the 4 screws out, very simple. This thing feels pretty heavy. Oh, I want you to look at that. Why did I get an automatic? Alright, so I disconnected the start button, and the only way to get it in neutral is to turn the car on, put it in neutral. So yeah, it's not coming out. So let's do that. I'm gonna plug it in since it's right there, put it in neutral, or actually drive, and I'll just put the e-brake on, and then get the unit out. And once I get it out, I'll get back to you guys, because like I said, it's really hard to do all of this at the same time while recording. All right, hold on. So I figured out you can take the start button off, and now that I know that, who knows where I'm gonna put this thing, because it would be so cool to put it somewhere else, like there. Like imagine that. That'd be cool. Or like here, like a Mercedes have it, or like right, bro. That'd be crazy. Oh, the E36 M3. Gotta do a review video on that. No, just a drifting video. I don't know. So a little detail about this car: fully built by Active Auto Works, S52, high compression pistons, forged internals. The thing is insane. Stage 3 clutch, full polyurethane bushings and suspension. It's a sedan. It looks pretty nice. Denny, the owner of the E30, which I haven't introduced you guys to yet, picked it up a few weeks ago. The car is gorgeous. Amazing. So we'll have to do a few videos on that. He's gonna go get me McDonald's now because I'm dying of hunger. But like I said, I got the start button off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna plug it in here, and I don't have to put the whole panel back. So I suggest you guys do that too. And I'm gonna put it in drive and e-brake. There he goes. Alright, well, knowing Danny is definitely gonna floor it leaving, so I'm gonna get a little bit for you guys. Oh no, neighbor's blacking out. Rev it! It says 332i on the back. Very fun car. Compared to the E46 M3, I don't know, it's a pretty tight race. Oh wait, I think he's gonna rip it. Yep, Danny's wild. You guys gotta meet him. All right, here we go. We got a little exclamation point, courtesy of BMW. Car's in drive now. Pull it out. All right, that is heavy. And back there, you'll find a lot of wiring that has to be disconnected now. So I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect that, and I'll get back to you guys once this is out. All right, guys, got all the wires off. I believe this is the GPS antenna. That's what I bought the splitter for. And then some miscellaneous wiring. That's the LVD thingy. And then we have the giant wiring harness. And this thing, I don't know what that does. And this thing is still hanging down from the bottom. Oh, that's from the AC. There's another one up here. All right, so the whole thing is taken apart. So, wish me luck. I'm gonna pull the wiring harness out now from the AVIN unit and see where it plugs in and what has to happen. I have the AVIN wiring harness out. Then this is the part that goes to the unit on the top, so those are gonna have to be run through the back. And then this is the male harness that plugs into the car's female harness. All right, and then this harness will plug into the car's factory unit. Now you gotta tuck all those wires in and all that stuff. But for right now, I'm gonna plug in here, plug in there, put everything where it goes, throw this back in there. You guys, if you're watching this video, it's because you know something about cars, and I'm sure you know something about working on them. So this is just to make it easier for you guys, a little rundown of how to do it, but I can't spoon feed every single step. So plug all of this in, put it back, put your 4 screws back in, and we'll continue. Alright guys, so I have the harness plugged in here and there, and here's the second aux that I talked about in the unboxing video. It says audio out, and then the cable they provide you with, that's an aux cable, says audio out. So since I know that this has to be plugged into the center console aux port, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in. And I don't know how I'm gonna run it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to take off this panel, run it through the bottom and run it through here to get it to not be able to be seen. So, but before that, I'm gonna plug everything else in, test it, show you guys that everything works, hopefully, and then continue with the install. All right, so at this point, I have everything plugged back in, and I'm going to plug the GPS splitter that I bought from them, plug it in there, and plug it into the unit on the back, like you guys saw in the unboxing video, and test it. So a little side note, now that I have this all kind of figured out. So the car's factory GPS antenna is down here, right? But like I said, you have the option. All right, first of all, if you didn't watch the unboxing video, go back and watch it before you even watch this video. But like I said, this goes into the screen at the top. It doesn't reach. So you're definitely gonna need the GPS splitter. All right. This is the car's GPS antenna. Since it doesn't reach the top, you have to use the GPS antenna that they give you, which is which is this thing, right? But I'd rather use the car's GPS antenna than use that GPS antenna. Why? Because BMW is better than made in China. So I suggest you get the splitter, run the cable to the top, run it through here, then get it kind of through the vents. You're gonna have to figure out that you're gonna have to like move it over so that nothing collides with anything else, and then it'll get to the top so you can plug it into the screen, and then you plug the other side into the unit. So you plug the male into the female of the car, then these two females into the male of the screen, the new one, and the GPS. So like I said, this gives you the ability to use the CCC with the GPS antenna and the Android with the GPS antenna. Remember, the CCC is not run on that screen, it's run on this system. It just mirrors it on the screen. All right, so let's get this going. I got everything plugged in. The audio out with the audio out does go into the center armrest. All right, then everything's plugged into the unit in the back. I'm testing it out, you know, just in case, because honestly it wasn't working at the beginning. But I just wanted to give you guys a rundown. So here's one critical step that you have to do before you put everything back, obviously, and you test it. So in the factory harness, this one right here, right there with that, back there, let me see if I can zoom in, back there used to be a black wire and a green wire plugged in into a little plug. That is the wire that runs the CCC. So if you want to be able to see the CCC on this screen, which I'm sure most of you guys do, you have to, let me take this back here so I can show you guys. What you have to do is you have to take that plug out of the CCC, out of the original wiring harness. Then you plug it in right there into the harness provided to you by AVIN. That is the only way you'll be able to see the CCC, because I didn't have it plugged in and it wasn't working. So you plug that into that harness, then you plug the harness into the CCC, and it works. So a couple other things that you guys need to know. Let me start it up so I can give you guys a rundown. Now, yeah, this is not how it's gonna be. So start her up. Takes a load. Alright. Maybe a little longer than I thought. Alright, so I held down the menu for 3 seconds, and there's the new navigation system. So you have music, navigation, Bluetooth, video, car info. Car info actually takes you to the CCC. Voice assistant, file manager, DVR, dashboard, phone link, apps, and settings. So let's see if it works on. No signal. All right. Oh wait, the car's not even on. Is it? All right, there it is. All right. So here's the CCC. Then you hold this for 3 seconds, and it switches to the regular one. Click that, CCC. Click it again, the new one. So, how did I make it work? Because some of you guys, it may not work for you guys. So, you gotta go into settings. By the way, the music doesn't use the radio. It uses music on the device. So whether it be plugged into the USB, an SD card, whatever, that's how the music app works. Actually, let me go back and show you guys. And yeah, the scroll wheel does work with the screen. So the music app only works with their 3 songs. Alright, I don't know how to pause it. Alright, we'll pause that. Alright, so the Bluetooth sounds not as good as the music app. So you're gonna have to mess with your car original settings. So you're gonna want to go into here and mess with your audio settings a little bit to get it to be decent. But to get it to work, you go in here. You're gonna go into settings. Then you have to go into system info, factory setup, and you type in the code 1314. Alright, and that's gonna give you access to like basically the behind the scenes settings, kind of. So if you have the Harman, put the Harman option. Alpine, I don't know who has Alpine, but if you have the Alpine option, put the Alpine option. The way mine is set up, mine is a 2007, well it's an 08, but it's built in 07 of 07. So I have mine set up under DVD 1. Click those, I don't know what those do. Original car amp, automatic switching, don't know what that does. ARM Bluetooth, still don't know what that does. And then you have iDrive Type A and iDrive Type B. Under iDrive Type A, it wouldn't work for me. I had to do it under iDrive Type B. And then under car type, it's gonna give you 6.5 and 8 inch. 60 and the 8.8 inch option for E60. Now, choose the 8.8 option because when you switch over to the CCC, I'll actually show you guys. Let's say I choose a 6.5 inch. Press yes. When I switch over to the CCC, it looks like that. So, alright, I gotta go back. 8.8, yes. Switch back, and it's perfect. So, if you're having that issue, now you know how to fix it. Other than that, everything is pretty straightforward. Install wasn't that bad. There's a bit of disassembly to do, but everything works. Let's see. Navigation. Right now it's under Google Maps. I connected to my house's Wi-Fi, but you can see the location shows, and same on the factory navigation. There you go. And what I was saying about the iDrive Type A and Type B, the screen would work, just the scroll wheel wouldn't work. Now the scroll wheel works perfectly fine. Alright guys, so now to put this all back together, pretty much the same thing, obviously backwards. So you're gonna have to tuck everything back in, do all that, and like I said before, can't do it all while recording. So I'm gonna start putting everything back together and update you guys as I go, and eventually we'll do the review video so you guys know everything there is to know about this Android. Okay, so like I said before, to run the aux cable with a stealthy install, you're gonna have to take apart the center. It's pretty easy. Basically what you do is you put the shifter in neutral, then you lift up the shift boot, and then you kind of twist it so that it can get through this. This is all clipped in, so you just pull it out, then you unplug the iDrive, and if you have a convertible, unplug the convertible switch, and then you'll see the wiring is pretty simple. You kind of run it down through here and through the tunnel. I'm gonna run it through the e-brake, so it'll go through here and there, out through the e-brake, and then your car should have a vent right there. I took it off with a plastic pry tool. Take the vent off, run it straight through there, and right into the aux. So vent straight through there, right into the aux. So it shouldn't be that hard. I'll get back to you guys. All right, guys. So now we have a couple options for the harnesses in the back. The one labeled DVRN goes on the right side, but there's another option, which is this one with the AV and the audio for the same side. See, it has the same plug, and that's for audio and for video, and this one is just for video. Now, if this is for the dash cam / front camera, which I'm thinking about doing a front camera so I can see where I'm parking, because I plan on going lower, so it'll help to see the parking stops when I have to park in a forward-facing area, like when you have to pay for parking and stuff like that. So I'm gonna run this one, but I'm truly not sure. I'll let you guys know once I get it all in and I'm able to test it out for a few weeks, or honestly just a day. And then you have the other one that goes on the left side that has 2 USB ports. Hold on. 2 USB ports labeled USB 1 and USB 2. So those go on the left side. I believe that's for CarPlay, and for something else you may want to add on, like a USB stick for music or whatnot. And I'm gonna plug it in just to have it, just in case I ever want to do anything. I don't have to take the whole dash apart again. But it's up to you guys. You don't really need them. You don't need this one either. You only need the main harness. So plug in what you need, plug in what you want, then start putting everything back together. Guys, so I cleaned up most of the wiring. The screen is now in, bolted in place. It is not easy. You can see right here, this wiring is gonna sit next to the AC vents. I wired them towards the middle so that they would reach the middle of the screen and be tucked in behind. But trying to fit it it's not really hard, it's kind of difficult. So it's not impossible, but you can do it. You really have to like push it in and get everything to squeeze and kind of line up. And then you have to, this bolt will probably be easier. That's how it was for me. This one was easier to put in than this one. I kind of pushed it in a little bit so it would find the hole, put it in, and it went in. Then I did this side, same thing, and now it's bolted in. Looks pretty good. Now I'm starting to put everything back, and I'll get back to you guys when most of it is done. Alright guys, I got the bottom unit in, got the screen working, switch over to the original, working perfectly, and switch back. The knob works. All this should work since you already tested it before. And there we go. Alright, time to put it all back together. Alright guys, so the whole dash is reassembled. Got everything back together. Still missing this piece. I have the wire for the rear camera here. I'm going to try to run the cable through this side, through the inside of the dash, so I don't have to take all this out again when I do the rear view camera install. But just so you guys can see, when you put it in reverse, if you have sensors, the sensors will come up. I already checked my rear sensors and they do work. And then you have the parking lines that you can kind of see them moving while I turn the steering wheel with the car off. You have that, And then you also have like this angle guide, a few other options. Change the brightness, contrast, stuff like that. That you'll have to do once you have the camera working. But you go back into park, camera turns off, just like a brand new car. So I'm gonna get this all back together, and I'm gonna call it a day because it's been a long day. So thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for my review of the AVIN USA CCC CIC Retrofit replacement, and how I wired the rear view camera, and also, you know what, I'm doing the front camera too, and how I get all that done. So thank you guys for watching.